Your parents bought a house on one salary, and for most of their adult lives, that was normal. One paycheck covered the mortgage. One paycheck covered the bills. And if the second income existed, it was optional. You, on the other hand, have two incomes, two paychecks, two careers, and somehow you still feel broke. That sentence makes people uncomfortable, not because it's exaggerated, but because it feels unfair. You did what you were told to do. You went to school. You worked hard. You climbed the ladder. You followed the plan. So why does it still feel like you're running in place? Welcome back. Today, we're deconstructing what I'll call the $150,000 lie. Not a lie because the number is fake. The money is real. But the story we tell ourselves about what that income should feel like is deeply misleading. If you earn $150,000 a year, you've probably been told you're doing well, comfortable, secure, established. You may even be told you're lucky. And yet, when something breaks, when an unexpected expense shows up, when life throws something unscheduled at you, your body reacts before your brain does. Your shoulders tighten. Your stomach drops. You start doing math in your head. That reaction tells us something important, because people who are actually financially secure don't react that way. They pause, they assess, and they move on. So let's slow this down and ask a harder question. If $150,000 is such a strong income, why does it still feel fragile? To answer that, we need to meet a very specific type of household. Let's call them the treadmill couple. They're not reckless. They're not irresponsible. They're not bad with money. They're educated. They're employed. They're busy, very busy. They earn well. They save a little. They pay their bills on time. And at the end of every month, their bank balance resets to roughly zero. They don't feel rich. They don't feel poor. They feel tired. And when they talk about money, they usually say the same thing. We just need a little more. Another raise. Another promotion. Another income stream. Because from where they're standing, income feels like the bottleneck. But income isn't the problem. The system they're standing on is. Here's the trap. Two incomes didn't double your wealth. They doubled the price of your environment. Housing, childcare, transportation, expectations. When two incomes became the norm, prices didn't politely stay the same. They adjusted, quietly, relentlessly. You didn't just buy a house. You bought into a neighborhood. And that neighborhood comes with a minimum financial speed. Better schools, longer commutes, higher property taxes, more pressure to keep up. And here's the part people miss. Everyone else around you also has two incomes. So competition doesn't disappear. It intensifies. The bar doesn't stabilize. It rises. This is why high income doesn't feel like high control. Now let's look at the math. Not spreadsheet math. Real-world math. Imagine a household earning $150,000. Partner A earns $90,000. Partner B earns $60,000. On paper, that looks simple. Add the numbers together, and you get $150,000. But income doesn't stack the way we think it does. The second income doesn't sit beside the first. It sits on top. And that changes everything, because the dollars earned at the top are taxed at the highest marginal rate. Before you see them, before you feel them, before they ever touch your account. Nearly $20,000 disappears immediately, not because you did anything wrong, but because of how the system is structured. This is what I call the ghost salary. Money you earn but never experience. Money that exists on paper, but not in your day-to-day life. Then come the costs no one talks about honestly. Daycare, In many metro areas, 2 children in daycare cost $20,000 or more every single year. That's not pre-tax money. That's after-tax money. That's real cash leaving your account. Then transportation. 2 careers usually mean 2 cars, 2 insurance policies, 2 fuel tanks, 2 maintenance schedules, parking. Subtract another $9,000. And then there's the cost that doesn't show up as a line item, the exhaustion tax. You're tired, not lazy, not careless, just tired. You're managing careers, schedules, commutes, kids, responsibilities. So you outsource meals, convenience, time. $7,000, $8,000, gone quietly. No dramatic purchase, no luxury splurge, just survival spending. So what's left? What's left after taxes, after childcare, after transportation, after exhaustion? Here's the uncomfortable answer. Thousands of hours of work traded for a margin so thin it barely exists. That realization is the turning point. Because once you see that, you usually make one very understandable mistake. You use the second income to qualify for a bigger mortgage. It feels logical. It feels responsible. It feels adult. The bank says you can afford it. The spreadsheet says it works. But something subtle happens. You hardwire both incomes into the foundation of your life. Now, both paychecks are required just to stand still. Not to grow, not to invest, to survive. Then lifestyle creep moves in. Not dramatically, not recklessly, quietly. A better car, a nicer vacation, upgraded furniture. Each decision feels reasonable in isolation. Together, they erase margin. And this is how fragility is created. Not through bad choices, but through normal ones. If one income stops, the entire system collapses within weeks, not months, weeks. That's not wealth. That's a tightrope. But there is another way to structure this. It's called the one income foundation, and it changes the question entirely. Instead of asking, how much can we afford with both incomes, you ask, what kind of life can we support with one? In this example, $90,000. Everything essential must fit inside that number. Mortgage, transportation, core living costs, no exceptions. This feels conservative at first, but what it actually creates is stability. Step 1 is simple. Not easy, simple. Cap your fixed costs. Your mortgage, your cars. They must fit the primary income alone. This forces trade-offs, it forces intention, and it creates breathing room. Step 2 changes behavior entirely. The second income becomes the freedom fund. It is never used for bills, ever. Not emergencies, not upgrades, not lifestyle smoothing. Its job is not comfort. Its job is optionality. Step 3 is where patience shows up. You invest that money, not aggressively, not emotionally, consistently. This isn't spending money. It's buying future time. Optionality is misunderstood. It doesn't mean quitting tomorrow. It doesn't mean retiring early. It means you could. It means a bad job becomes temporary. A difficult season becomes manageable. It means decisions slow down. And slowing down is power. 2 incomes can be a trap, or they can be a springboard. The difference is the system. Broke people buy status. Wealthy people buy time. I've mapped out the one income audit for you so you can see exactly where your margin is leaking and how to rebuild it. You'll find it linked below. Stop running. Start building. I'll see you in the next one.